Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today we'll be making some Roni, steamed veggies, and some baked salmon. So to get started, I melted 4 tablespoons of butter in my pot, and I'm sauteing the Roni, which is basically rice and vermicelli, which is like a pasta. Once the vermicelli gets toasted brown, we're gonna add the water. Because I used 2 boxes, I'm going to be adding 5 cups of water into my pot. I felt like it was a bit much at the end, so next time I'll add a little bit less. So once you add the water into your toasted rice, you're going to add the seasoning packets and just kind of stir that together. Allow it to come to a boil. Once it starts to come to a boil for like 2 to 3 minutes, then we're going to turn the stove down to like a 1, like really low, almost off. We're going to cover it with a piece of parchment paper and then the lid for the pot, and then we'll get started with the butter for our salmon. So to the side here, in a small saucepan, I have about 5 tablespoons of butter. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and in the corner I have 1 tablespoon of dried thyme. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. If you have fresh minced garlic or minced garlic in a jar, that's fine also. I'm also going to add about half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of some red chili pepper flakes. You can feel free to add more or less salt if you want, and feel free to add more or less pepper if you want. The basic point here is to get the oil and garlic infused with the herbs. We're going to allow it to like melt and sit a little bit while we prep our salmon, because we're going to drizzle this on top of the salmon before we put it to bake. One last thing I forgot, some Slap Your Mama seasoning. I think I added about a tablespoon or a little bit less than a tablespoon, but everything will be listed in the description box down below. On to our salmon pieces. So this is some store-bought salmon that I had purchased. I'm simply just like rinsing it and patting it dry. I have already did my thorough cleaning of it, and do you guys scale the back of your salmon? Because I get the scales off. I don't really like cooking with the scales on it. So anyway, I've already cleaned that. I'm just gonna pat it dry. Now I've laid it onto my baking sheet, and I'm just going to drizzle it with our herb infused oil. So just really quickly, guys, I know that you guys are enjoying my videos and I greatly appreciate it, but don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Many of you are not subscribers. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss our other videos. So we pop the salmon into the oven at 450 for about 18 to 20 minutes. I am checking on the rice. Do you see it here? It's a bit watery. But like I said, I followed the directions on the back of the box, which I won't do next time. The rice came out, it had a good flavor to it, but it was just too wet. So next time I will reduce the amount of water that I put in there. So the oven went off, and here is our salmon pieces. And last but not least, we're going to get started with our veggies. I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil heating up in a kind of like a frying pan skillet. I'm using a frozen vegetable mixture. I think it's called like a broccoli Normandy. It's just like a vegetable medley basically. So we're just going to put that into the oil. I think I sprinkled it with some seasoning salt, like some adobo. I like adobo. If you use Lawry's or any other seasoning salt, feel free to go ahead with that. So I just kind of cover it liberally. with the seasoning salt. And I'm going to add a splash of water into the pan. Probably about 2 tablespoons. As you can see, I don't really measure. I kind of just go with the flow, kind of. So yeah, we're just going to add a splash of water and then put the lid on it so that way it can kind of like steam. And then we'll be back. So about 5 to 10 minutes later, and this is what it looks like. And we're basically done. And here we have it, folks, our dinner of baked salmon, rice-a-roni, and steamed veggies. I hope you guys come back for the next video. Bye!